What's up, man? It's Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. It's almost World Cup season. Less than a month away. The 2026 World Cup will be here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and react to the entire story of the 2022 World Cup. Our man's like Top Benz. Go subscribe to him, get him to 145,000 subscribers. And speaking of the entire story of the 2022 World Cup, he better give the United States of America. They just does this, and they just do. If y'all ain't know, the United States men's national team documentary just dropped on HBO Max. The first episode was covering the 2022 World Cup when the United States shocked the world and made it to the knockout stages, and Big Bronx is included. Big Bronx is included in the documentary, so y'all already know what time it is. Top Benz, y'all go ahead, give United States they just do, and you better not skip over us like we just wasn't nothing. You feel me? Let's go down.
But the 2022 tournament might just have. Every World Cup is iconic, but the 2022 tournament might just have been the most iconic of all time. Both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo approached their mid-30s, and the debate of who had the superior career was approaching its crescendo.
Yeah, and remember, before this tournament, everybody was saying that this was going to be the worst tournament of all time. Woo! Fact or fiction? One was because it was in Qatar, and then two, it was because it was in winter instead of summer. You know?
Going beyond just these two,
but
Neymar was reaching the tail end of his prime and was desperate to bring the trophy home to Brazil to finally be considered as a true legend of his country. This tournament could have been considered the finale of this era of football.
Nah, for real though.
The most brutal games, shocking moments, and craziest goals, all ending with the most exciting final in the history of the sport. It's hard to believe this wasn't the greatest World Cup of all time. So, without further ado, this is the entire story of the 2022 World Cup and why it was the greatest international tournament in history.
Everybody clap it the hell up. Everybody clap it up, bro. I am so glad that I was able to witness a lot of this stuff live. Y'all know this is my first World Cup that I watched live. So this is finna be a real great video, just taking me back to 4 years ago. It's already been 4 years ago, bro. Already 4 years. There was so many memes and so many big time moments that was born in this tournament. I'm excited to see what moments are going to be born in 2026.
Oh, wow! Croatia for the second time. The Moroccan miracle. Messi will
I ain't forget people talking about Iran was going to whoop us. I remember that.
Now,
they said
before we get into
whoop.
match day one, I need to fill you in a bit on the context because this was a controversial one to say the least. Qatar used questionable methods to get these stadiums in order so fast, meaning many Qatari workers lost their lives in the process, leading to supporters of clubs like Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and Hertha Berlin to reveal banners calling for a boycott. But ultimately, no official boycott of the tournament went ahead, and the 2022 World Cup was destined to feel completely different from previous tournaments because this was the first tournament to be.
Don't that sound familiar? Boys boycotting the tournament and whatnot. Boys trying to boycott the United States tournament too. So pre-game and pre-hype and all of that, don't worry about all that. Let the football talk on the pitch. Let the football do its magic on the pitch, and then boys go change their terms. You're like, oh, hey, this World Cup was actually kind of good. Watch.
In the winter, and the first time, it would be hosted by a country in the Middle East, which meant that major football leagues across the world would be forced to pause in late November. Partake in one football leagues. And the first time, it would be hosted by a country in the Middle East, which meant that.
Okay, never mind, boy. I thought, hey.
Football leagues across the world
if
would be
that
forced
was
to
a little
pause in
bit,
late November.
if the angle was a little bit more higher.
Taking a 1 week pre-tournament training camp. Despite the unique circumstances that preceded the World Cup, one thing remained consistent. Brazil were priced by most bookmakers as the tournament's favorites, and this was hard to disagree with, as their team included stars like Neymar, Rafinha, Fabinho,
these niggas were the favorites for real coming into 2022?
They appeared to be the most complete Brazil side.
I genuinely don't even remember who was the favorite.
Expected to be Neymar's final opportunity to win a World Cup, and he wasn't the only legend of the era who was missing this trophy. It looked like both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo might be calling this their last chance at winning the trophy and quite literally complete football. But both stars were in their mid-30s and seemingly entering decline. Lionel Messi had scored just 11 times in 34 appearances during the 21-22 season.
Ballon d'Or, innit? Or hold on, I got Seasons mixed up. 21. No, he won the 2023 Ballon d'Or, so that was for the 22-23 season. Okay, babe. I'll finna say.
Meanwhile, CR7 had returned to Old Trafford, where he had a blistering first campaign, but caused controversy in his second season.
I'm finna go tell Piers Morgan,
leaving him out of the team. But one other favorite that had to be mentioned going into it was France, as they entered as the reigning champions, spearheaded by Kylian Mbappe, who was looking like he was going to play the villain role in this World Cup story. But still, Argentina had gone 37 games unbeaten before the tournament began, yet still they were a nation going
they
slightly
ran into
under
Saudi
the radar,
Arabia,
as their team featured few household names beyond Messi. Okay, now enough with the pre-tournament context. It's time to head into the greatest World Cup in modern history.
Get into the tourney. Group stages.
Starting with Group A, the Netherlands beat Qatar and Senegal, and
y'all remember
to finish in first position.
Y'all remember this first this game, that Qatar and Ecuador game?
Starting with Group A,
bro. When I tell you, that hoe was so fucking rigged. Y'all remember how long it took for them boys to draw the lines to see what was offside or not? Yeah, Valencia was off. I forgot who got, Ecuador was getting hold. Yeah, Ecuador was getting hold. And didn't it end with a 1-1 draw, was it? I just remember that, boy. Everybody, their mom was like, look at Qatar trying to rig it up. It's finna be 2002 South Korea all over again.
The Netherlands beat Qatar and Senegal and drew with Ecuador to finish in first position.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah. Netherlands finished two wins, 1 draw. They drew with Ecuador. They get Ecuador ass. I told you, defense can only get you so far. Y'all always perp in the building. Y'all always talk about Ecuador defense. Like, you know, if you ain't scoring no goals. I mean, well, they scored 4 goals, to be fair, during this World Cup, but still.
And despite their defeat to the Netherlands, Senegal finished in second position after beating the bottom 2 sides in the group. Group B featured England, the US, Wales, and Iran, and with England fresh off the back of a group. Group B featured England, the US, Wales, and Iran.
Everybody go ahead, give us our props. Give us our props, bro.
In 2021,
I'm going to tell you the narratives that everybody was saying.
Actually win the World Cup featured England, the US, Wales, and Iran.
Niggas doubted us, bro. Straight like that. I'm in a whole United States men's national team documentary on HBO Max, nigga. After this, because niggas doubted us, boy. Whole world doubted us. Oh, y'all getting grouped. Oh, y'all getting 4th. You got England, and then you got Gareth Bale, Wales. You got Wales, Gareth Bale. Bro, Bronco, Gareth Bale will be your best player by a miles margin. Even though that's true, your best player in club in nation's history by miles margin. Even though that is true, it don't matter because it's a whole 11 that got to come out there and step on that field and match up. It was only a draw because Walker Zimmerman goofy ass had did a goofy ass foul, and Wales Gareth Bale got a goddamn penalty. Like, come on now. We scored a legit goal. Them niggas got a pen. Parif got a pen. And then Iran, when Iran happened, Bronco, I'm telling you, they got Taremi over there. Taremi. Taremi. Then we went to England. Yes, Afro. England midfield was locked up by Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa, and Weston McKennie. BD. My mama. Boys locked them up. We bullied them boys. We bullied them.
And with England fresh off the back of a Euros final in 2021, they were among the favorites to actually win the World Cup.
Because England had just, you see this? They 7-1 Iran. They hung 7 on their head. So they thought we was going to get did the same way. No, we're not. We're the United States of America, boy. England ain't never beat us in no World Cup. Y'all better look at y'all history. Y'all like history, right? Go Google it. Go Wikipedia it. Go read up on your history.
Who are we kidding? They hit 6 against Iran and 3 against Wales to go top of the group with 7 points.
Hey, come on now. Come on, top bands. Didn't I tell you give United States of America our just due? Didn't I tell you give us our just due, bro? Everybody had us getting last. You know? Like, come on now. We qualified. We pulled out a draw against England. And then that draw against Wales still pissed me off. It still pisses me off. We still would have got second, though, even if we would have won against Wales. But it still pisses me off at the end of the day.
While the U.S. finished in second place after drawing with England and Wales before beating Iran. But one of the biggest shocks of the group stages.
Group C. Now, Group C, I feel like everybody named Mama had Argentina qualifying. We knew L3 was going to get group. Whole world knew that. But what we didn't expect was Saudi Arabia to beat them boys. And I remember it happened like 2 a.m. while I was sleeping. I woke up and I seen Saudi Arabia. And they scored all bangers.
Saudi Arabia kicked off their tournament by defeating Argentina 2-1. This was a shock. Messi was past it. Messi was not going to win the World Cup in his career. This was the talk at this point in the tournament at this time, and as Messi's head was hung in shame, who could have predicted otherwise? But 2-0 victories against Mexico and Poland ensured the South American nation still topped the group and gave them a lifeline and a chance in the next.
L3. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. That's exactly what we expect. Nah, I ain't even finna do y'all dirty. I ain't gonna do y'all dirty, act like it wasn't close. But the thing is, y'all conceded more than y'all scored. Them 3 boys. Niggas only scored 2. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I think we only scored 2 goals the whole group stage too.
Next round,
but we made
also joined in the knockouts by Poland, who beat Saudi Arabia and drew with Mexico. Moving to Group D, France looked imperious from the opening day, with Mbappe helping the holders to a 4-1 victory against Australia before striking a double in the following match to beat Denmark 2-1. Shockingly, France lost their final game against Tunisia, but it didn't stop the 2-time winners from topping the group. Denmark was among the tournament's dark horses, but a defeat against Australia ensured the Oceania nation reached the knockouts for the first time instead. Spain and Germany's progress.
Whoa, what? Oh yeah, because they played Argentina first round. Why did I forget about this?
Reached the knockouts for the first time instead. Spain and Germany's.
Oh, hey, this was the magical group right here. Germany, Costa Rica, Spain, Japan. Hood remembers when it was like 10 minutes during the final match day where Costa Rica and Japan was the 2 that was on to the knockouts, and Spain and Germany was eliminated. Hood remember that. Oh my mama, but things ended up turning around. Football is a game of 90 minutes, but
progress in Group E seemed like it would be a formality, but somehow ended in tears for the 2014 winners as Germany suffered a shock opening day defeat to Japan before drawing with Spain in the second game. On the other hand, Spain thrashed Costa Rica 7-0 in their opening game and were expected to beat Japan in the final game, giving Germany a chance of progressing should they beat Costa Rica. 2 late goals ensured that Germany beat Costa Rica 4-2 and finished the group with 4 points, but Japan shocked the world by defeating Spain 2-1, giving them 6 points and taking Germany.
Oh yeah, bro, look how close this. Yeah, I did. That was the first time I debuted the damn video. That whole got like 2.1 million views in like 30 minutes or an hour. That shit was out of bounds. Who remember the out of bounds too? Cause they did the little over top angle of the ball and all of that. I feel like it was out of bounds too, but it is what it is. Japan topped the group with 6. Spain and Germany tied with 4, but Spain had a large goal differential because they was beating up on Costa Rica. So hold on, Costa Rica, who did them niggas beat? Did Costa Rica beat Japan? Them niggas beat Japan. How did Japan lose to Costa Rica? After beating Spain, well, that's football, isn't it? Football math don't work.
He's placed in the knockout stages. Belgium's golden generation had a final chance.
F, yeah, we know Canada. Them niggas got group 0 points, just like Qatar did. Belgium proved they was fries. Lukaku doing what he do best. Morocco rose up. They rose up this occasion for real. Croatia was Croatia.
In Group F, but a defeat to Morocco and a draw with Croatia saw the star-studded team suffer an early exit, marking the end of the Belgian golden generation. Morocco and Croatia progressed to the knockouts after.
Look at Canada. 0. 2 goals. 7 goals scored against, 0 points, bro. That is embarrassing. Morocco topped it, though. Wasn't nobody expecting Morocco to top that group. This is definitely the reason, because KDB came out there, well, maybe we just not as talented as everybody think we are. Nigga, what type of leader says that about his team? Kevin? What the hell?
picking up 7 and 5 points respectively. Moving to Group G, Brazil trudged to a 2-0 victory over Serbia on the opening day before a late Casemiro goal sealed a 1-0 victory over Switzerland in the second game. It wasn't a display of free-flowing Samba football, and their clear weaknesses were exposed during a final day defeat.
Hey, I remember this, a Boubacar.
Topped the group and accompanied by Switzerland.
He got that red card for taking off his shirt. He ain't give a damn. Brazil and Switzerland, they both was tied, but Brazil got ahead on goal differential. They only got 1 goal scored against them. They got shut out. Who they get shut out by? Cameroon? I think that's what he just said. Yeah, Cameroon. They got shut out by Cameroon. Switzerland and Serbia into 1-0. Okay, yeah. All right, bet.
Switzerland, who beat Serbia and Cameroon in the knockout stages. But now all eyes turn to Group H, where CR7 opened the scoring for Portugal during a 3-2 victory over Ghana.
This seemed like the group of death to me. Shit. Portugal, Senegal, Ghana. Yeah.
7 opened the scoring for Portugal, accompanied by
Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea? You telling me this ain't no tough group? Did Spain, Germany win? Yeah, Spain, Germany, Japan. But Costa Rica do bring them down a lot. But, like, everybody in this whole Uruguay, man, sorry.
Where CR7 opened the scoring for Portugal during a 3-2 victory over Ghana. They'd go on to beat Uruguay and lose to South Korea to top a group they never looked entirely comfortable in.
Yeah, 6. Look how close it was, too. Look, this whole was close. 2, 3, and 4. 2 and 3 seeds both had 4, and Ghana had 3. You know,
looked entirely comfortable in. While South Korea's final day victory over Portugal and draw with Uruguay ensured they'd finish second, the story of the group came from Ghana versus Uruguay. The teams met during the 2010 World Cup when Luis Suarez controversially handballed a shot on the line to prevent Ghana from becoming the first African nation to reach the semifinals. Ghana had 3 points before the game and had a chance of progressing to the knockout stages before the game with Suarez's Uruguay on the final day. But the South American nation won 2-0 as Suarez passed the Ghanaian players. But South Korea's shock victory over Portugal ensured that neither side would reach the knockouts regardless. And with that, the group stages were concluded. So far, the only major exit being Belgium and Germany, and with Neymar, Ronaldo, and Messi's countries looking shaky, the odds started to look stronger and stronger in favor of Kylian Mbappe and France to retain the trophy. But now, as we enter the last 16, the drama really starts to heat up. But quickly, you should subscribe.
Hey, everybody go subscribe.
So much World Cup content.
Subscribe to Top Ben. Get into 145,000.
If you join me on this journey. Okay, now back to it.
Round 16.
After a group stage that saw Belgium and Germany take shocking early exits, the last 16 began, starting with the Netherlands versus the United States. And
we got to split it out. Let me go ahead and skip past this nonsense. I'm going to give y'all boys the backstory of this, and then we just go skip out all of this. I slipped past like the first half of this, huh? Straight like that. I woke up to the notification that Memphis Depay scored on her ass. But my ass, I was sleepy, boy. Cause this hoe was in the morning. It was like at 9, 8. It was 8. Shit, 9 for you is 8 for me. You on the East Coast. This hoe was at like 8 a.m. My ass slept past like the first 23 minutes and immediately hopped up and got on and continued to see us get slutted out. Like,
versus the United States, and to little surprise, the Dutch cruised to a 3-1 win thanks to goals from Memphis Depay, Daley Blind, and Denzel Dumfries. Later that day, Argentina took on Australia as the game played out to be more even than many imagined.
He said, what the Depay say, man? We ain't worried about Memphis Depay. What Memphis Depay did
finish from Messi and Julian Alvarez exploiting a goalkeeping mistake. After beating Australia, Argentina knew that they'd face the Netherlands in the quarterfinals, a game that became among the most iconic in World Cup history, as it was one of the most violent we would ever see. But we'll get to that later because there's plenty of last 16 drama to get through. Japan entered their last 16 tie with Croatia confidently after their group stage heroics, but the Slavs were no walkovers. They reached the final of the 2018 World Cup and had a squad filled with talent, including Luka Modric, Ivan Perisic, and Mateo Kovacic. The game finished 1-1 after 90 minutes in extra time, with Croatia winning.
Kovacic's shouts is nuts, bruh.
3-1 on penalties. Goalkeeper Dominik Livakovic won man of the
Bro,
match. With
Japan, for whatever reason,
penalty.
have never practiced penalties. Them niggas' penalties was the worst penalties I've seen in my life, bro.
Goalkeeper Dominik Livakovic won man of the match after saving 3 penalties in the shootout and looked sturdy enough to help Croatia progress into the tournament's later stages. But Croatia knew that they'd be facing Brazil in the quarters after the 5-time winners defeated South Korea 4-1 with goals from
they whooped them like that?
Richarlison and
Wow,
Paqueta inside the opening 36 minutes. Meanwhile, England were quietly emerging among the favorites to lift the trophy for the first time since 1966 as they beat Senegal 3-0 with Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane linking up impressively as the clear stars of the team. But their optimism was short-lived when they learned that their quarterfinal opponents would be France, who beat Poland 3-1 with Mbappe netting twice and assisting once. The then PSG forwards' 2 strikes in the closing stages were spectacular enough to make the world stop and question whether France were set to retain the trophy. After all, not all their rivals appeared deadly. After losing to Japan in the group stages, Spain were knocked out on penalties by Morocco in the last 16 after boring football fans around the world for 120 minutes with a 0-0 draw.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's seen it. This was a big reason why I was hating on Morocco. I said, yeah, they won. I mean, that's cool and all, but these niggas out here playing terrorist ball, haram ball. They playing sleeper ball.
Stages, Spain were knocked out on penalties by Morocco in the last 16 after boring football fans around the world for 120 minutes with a 0-0 draw. Morocco's quarterfinal opponents would be the winner of the Portugal-Switzerland tie. The game was among the most discussed in the tournament as Portugal dropped record goal scorer Cristiano Ronaldo but won 6-1. And
hey, Portugal, this should be notes. This should be a lesson to you. If y'all want to make it far in the World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo had to be on the bench, bro. Woo! Right like that, they had it on the bench. Them niggas won 6-1, just showing how well they flowed.
Gonzalo Ramos scored a sublime hat-trick.
And then they win against Morocco. It didn't score nada.
Against Morocco,
didn't score nil, bro. Didn't Ronaldo start? Did Ronaldo start against Morocco, or it was Ramos? Oh, okay, you know, little narratives in it. Hey, nigga had to get in there and thought I had a little narrative off and hit. You feel me? Hey, Nardo fans, y'all relax, bro. Relax. That nigga not fucking with Nell, bro. No matter like how much you get up or how much you get riled up or answer, he not fucking with Nell. Not in Big 26. Feel me?
CR7's nation to clinch the World Cup and rewrite the GOAT conversation forever. But that's not quite how it actually unfolded.
Hey, quarterfinal.
Lionel Messi would play a huge role in helping Argentina defeat the Netherlands on penalties during their
this
quarterfinal
was the best game
tie,
I've ever watched.
That's only half of the
My
story.
favorite game,
the story
I'll
began
say.
in the lead-up to the clash, with the Netherlands boss Louis van Gaal claiming Messi doesn't participate much when the other team has the ball. That's where our chances lie. He also went on to say he can decide a game
Look at the pop, this fucking cocky ass smirk on his face. Look at his ass with that smirk. Boy, I can't stand his ass. All bark, no bite. All bark, no bite. I so did tweet that hoe after they lost. Yeah, I'm shameless. I tweeted that hoe and I got bangs off of it too. Here you go. Got a banger out that goof ass nigga. You feel me? Oh, and also I predicted the score to this game too. I said this hoe was gonna be I said it was, bro, this was a banger for back in the day, bro. This 2022 bangs, bro. Twitter, X wasn't even called X back in 2022. It was still called Twitter, bro. Come on now, this a Twitter banger. Feel me? A lot of bark, no bite. And I predicted the score to this game. I said it was going to be 2-2. And I said it was going to go to penalties and Argentina was going to win. That's really when the prophet was birthed.
Say he can decide a game with a moment of individual brilliance, but in the semifinal we played against Argentina in 2014, he didn't touch a ball and we lost on penalties. Now we want our revenge. So Leo was pumped ahead of the game. not only to get one over on a manager who appeared to doubt him, but to also get a step closer to winning his first World Cup title. But Messi cannot have been the only player who took Van Gaal's comments personally, because the game became an absolute bloodbath. While heavy tackles were exchanged throughout the game, the battle didn't really begin until the closing stages. After 76 minutes, Messi converted a penalty to make it 2-0 to Argentina, seemingly helping his nation place one foot in the semis. 2 minutes later, Wout Weghorst was substituted on, and the towering forward pulled a goal back for the Dutch, almost immediately making it 2-1. As the Dutch piled on the pressure to find an equalizer in the closing stages, Leandro Paredes made an aggressive challenge on Nathan Ake before smashing the ball at the bench, prompting every substitute to leap out of their seat and
Big
charge
Bird got the knock.
Almost every player on the pitch was involved in one of the most heated fights in World Cup history, which, incredibly, didn't lead to a single red card. But the drama must have distracted Argentina as Weghorst converted a scrappy equalizer minutes later.
This is still crazy right here. This nigga passed it to somebody on the wall.
Incredibly, didn't lead to a single red card.
Ground pass that
must have distracted Argentina
somebody on the
as
wall.
Weghorst converted a scrappy equalizer minutes later to send the quarterfinal to extra time. No goals were scored during the additional 30 minutes before Argentina won 4-3 on penalties, causing several.
Who was that who missed a pin over the Netherlands? And they was talking shit.
Won 4-3 on penalties.
I don't think I would have been able to tell you. Call me a sore loser, bro, because I'm chasing after somebody over here if I'm getting clowned like these. After my heart is crushed, my nation just lost. We just lost in pins. If I'm going out like a sore loser. Straight like that. Somebody getting chased after. Might as well swing shit. Hey, the tournament already over with. I ain't gonna be nothing but banned for the next Nations League? Banned for the first game of the goddamn Euros or something. I mean, yeah, that's important, but Nations League is first though. So man, go ahead, ban me for Nations League. I'm taking that ban. God damn it, let's box. Shit, we already lost.
Provocative gestures at the devastated Dutchman
Eunice
to celebrate with penalty shootout hero Emiliano Martinez. The celebrations resulted in more fun as Denzel Dumfries was dismissed, receiving the 18th card of the game. Tensions between the two teams had not died down by the time they entered the tunnel, with Messi bellowing, "What are you looking at, fool?" as Weghorst watched his interview with the
Why the nigga? Why are you staring at his ass like that, bro? I would have been like, boy, what you look? I would have what you looking at too. I would have did the same shit. Why that nigga looking at his ass like that? Like, bro, he can't apologize. Oh, okay, that's just his normal face. This is regular face. Neil ain't take it like that. That boy Neil said, boy, what the fuck you looking at? What you looking at?
Weghorst watched his interview with despair. Leo had been a quiet, humble, and likable player during his prime years at Barcelona, but it was clear that the world was seeing a different side of the four-time Champions League winner on his desperate quest to find his first World Cup trophy. That same day, Croatia faced Brazil. After all the fireworks during the battle between the Netherlands and Argentina, the world needed a slightly more mellow affair, but this game was equally as shocking. Despite Croatia's charge to the 2018
Croatia's
final,
just so boring to me for whatever
the heavy
reason.
favorite leading into the 2022 quarterfinal. Neymar, Rafinha, and Vinny Jr. lined up in a star-studded team that looked set to batter Croatia and cruise to the semifinals. But they were frustrated by the goalkeeping heroics of Livakovic. Brazil made 11 shots.
What team
on
Livakovic
goal,
play for these
get
days?
past the seemingly unstoppable keeper, and neither team made a breakthrough after 120 minutes. The game went to penalties. Livakovic
0 goals in 120
Rodrigo
minutes is
Marquinhos
wicked.
as Croatia converted each of his.
120 minutes, 0
saved
goals.
penalties from Rodrigo.
Get Rigo. Man, it's like Rigo. Miss a pen. Marquinhos. Miss a pen. Neymar didn't get to take it. Oh, it was 1-1? Oh, okay, bet. My bad. I often say. I just remember this game being boring because we did a watch along for this.
Croatia converted each of their spot kicks, sending the Slavic nation to the semifinals.
Oh, pro boy from every country.
Yes, sir. Particularly devastating for Neymar.
Shout out, man. It's like Thrive King, subscribe to the Pro Bulls. Appreciate
the World Cup, but at 30 years old,
this was an idiot technique. Like, why would you not have your best player to go out there and set the tone and make a pin? Like, you feel me? And shoot the pin. Now you got Neymar sitting there like, you know. Hey, what it could have been.
Particularly
Instead, you got niggas like Rigo and Marquinhos taking pins before your best player and getting them hoes packed.
Devastating for Neymar, who would have gone down as one of the nation's legends had he managed to lift the World Cup. But at 30 years old, it looked like this World Cup would be the final of Neymar's prime years and that he failed to return the 5-time winners to its former glory throughout his career. Meanwhile, Luka Modric strengthened his World Cup legacy further, having helped his underdog nation to the latter stages of consecutive tournaments. The game established that the 2018 Ballon d'Or winner had produced a stronger international career than Neymar. But if Brazil versus Croatia was a battle of two players who were entering their twilight years, England versus France was a battle of two players who were set to dominate international football for the next decade: Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe's World Cup legacy was already legendary, having lifted the trophy as a 19-year-old, scoring 4 goals and producing a devastating performance against Argentina in the round of 16. By the time of the quarterfinal with England, Mbappe had notched 5 goals at the 2022 World Cup and already looked capable of breaking the all-time World Cup scoring record if he continued this rich vein of form. Meanwhile, Jude Bellingham was enjoying a breakout tournament for England, with many supporters suggesting that the youngster could become the nation's much-needed replacement for Steven Gerrard or Frank Lampard. Bellingham had started in each of England's games, producing 2 goal involvements.
That nigga Bellingham PR 22, 23, 24. He said they ain't said that. That nigga said they ain't said that. Hey, that Jude PR when he first year Real Madrid, hey, streets will remember first year Real Madrid, Jude. No cap. He had me drinking the Kool-Aid too. That nigga was making clutch ass goals. He was hitting beeses. They was winning. Niggas won a Champions League that year. I said, hey, oh my mama, Jude is that guy.
Looking more influential with every touch, but even Bellingham's midfield dominance could not prevent France's Aurelien Tchouameni from scoring a glorious 30-yard strike.
They won the Champions League, Jude, first year.
Minutes. England battled to get back in the game and were awarded a penalty after 53 minutes, which Harry Kane converted to level the score. However, England's dreams of a place in the semifinals were shattered after 77 minutes when Olivier Giroud headed home as second to make the score 2-1.
I honestly don't remember nothing from this game aside from Tchouameni Beezy and Larry skying that pin.
Smashed the spot kick.
Larry, this is especially why I call his ass Larry now. Whole world. Fate of the universe in your hand. Fate of the universe. World on the line. He's coming home, England boys. Got the country on your back.
Smashed the spot kick over the bar, prompting jubilant scenes from the French fans and a meme-worthy Mbappe. France held on and booked their place in the semifinal.
Whoa, where'd Tchouameni go?
Versus Morocco. Although Morocco had edged past Spain in the round of 16, the game did not appear to be a major challenge for Portugal. With Argentina's place in the semis, fans were beginning to dream of an iconic final featuring Messi and Ronaldo to determine who the greatest player of all time is. But while Messi had been delivering the goals for Argentina, Ronaldo's World Cup had been less fruitful. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner scored just once in the group stages before being dropped for Portugal's last 16 clash with Switzerland. And with Portugal hitting 6 in the previous game without Ronaldo, the superstar was left out of the starting lineup against Morocco.
Okay, here I go.
All right, exclusion from the lineup was less effective.
We gonna get to that. Hold on to that. Hold on to that thought. Let me pin this message in the chat so I don't forget to talk about it.
In this game, Portugal created few meaningful opportunities as Morocco took the lead after 42 minutes thanks to a header from Youssef En-Nesyri. Ronaldo was subbed on shortly after the interval, with the whole world waiting to see if the legend could produce one more clutch moment. With Portugal still trailing by a goal, Ronaldo got in behind the Moroccan defense and had a shot at goal, but the ball slowly trickled into the goalkeeper's arms, almost symbolizing the end of the superstar's time at the elite level. Morocco held on to become the first African nation to reach the semifinals of any World Cup.
They made it to the semifinals, but the reason why I still get hate, or I don't get hate, the reason why, the Morocco boys are still in my head, because I kept predicting them to lose. I'm sorry. I mean, that's what happens when you're not the favorite. Like, if a team is better than you on paper, and I feel like if they matched up 10 times out of 10, Portugal would have beat them more times than Morocco would have beat them. Like, Morocco happened to have a game plan out and did what they need to do. But, like, of course, I had the other team winning because they were the favorites to win, and y'all weren't. So it just is what it is. I wasn't hating on y'all, but now I'm hating on y'all because y'all kept coming in my head. Yo, well, now yeah, I am hating. Now what?
back into the dressing room with tears pouring down his face. As he fought the numerous cameras pointed in his face, Ronaldo was in despair, aware that he may have missed his final opportunity to win a World Cup during a game in which his nation was listed as heavy favorites.
Semifinals. All right, now here it is. When the semifinals happened, bro, there was dead ass people on the worldwide internet, my country's worldwide internet, trying to make campaigns talk about some hood want to see Croatia and Morocco. Nigga, what? Not my hood. Nigga, I do not want to see no 0-0 final with 1 goal scored in extra time. No, we do not want to see that. Hood want to see Argentina, France. I better quit playing. Also, we want to see Croatia, Morocco. I said, boy, nigga, y'all are nuts. Niggas out here rooting for a damn, boy. Come on, niggas out here rooting for a 1-0 World Cup final.
The world stage was heartbreaking.
I said last time Argentina and France played each other, y'all know what magic happened in 2018 in that semifinal matchup. Was it the semis or quarters? Wherever it was, last time they matched up, it was a goddamn banger. And of course, what did everybody say? Because niggas just love disagreeing with Bronx. Bro, that was round of 16. People go play different in the final. It's not going to be as crazy or interesting like it was in the final. I said, all right, bro. And guess what? The final happened and that bitch was the greatest game of all time. And Bronx still don't get props.
To create the ultimate fairy tale ending, starting with the semi-final clash against Croatia. Argentina were not going into the game with the belief that winning was a formality. During the 2018 World Cup round of 16, Croatia defeated them 3-0 during a day in which Modric was magnificent, scoring from 25 yards out. After the final whistle of that game, Messi looked truly dejected. But 3.5 years later, the icon had an opportunity for redemption in one of the biggest games of his career. Not only was Messi desperate for a World Cup to serenade his illustrious career, but the whole of Argentina was too. The supporters, the players, and the coaches knew that it could be Messi's final chance to lift the trophy that eluded him and believed that he deserved to go down as the undisputed greatest player of all time. As such, Argentina supporters traveled to the Qatar World Cup in droves and created an electric atmosphere during the opening stages of the clash against Croatia. As Julian Alvarez went clean through before being brought down inside the box after 31 minutes, the screams for a penalty were so loud that the roof could have been blown off. The referee pointed to the spot. After a couple of minutes of arguing, Messi stood over the ball, breathed in knowing that his legacy was on the line.
He did have a lot of
smashed the
bins.
ball past Livakovic.
Top
5 minutes later, Alvarez made it 2 with a terrific solo goal, giving Argentina 1 foot in the final. Messi was mesmerizing throughout, delivering incredible dribble sequences as if he was still playing in his 2011 prime, eventually providing a superb assist for Alvarez to notch his 2nd goal of the night.
Oh, he didn't
Argentina were through to their 2nd final in the last 3 World Cup tournaments, and Messi's dream of finally lifting the World Cup was still alive. They learned their opponents the following night when France took on Morocco. Having already knocked out Spain and Portugal, nobody could underestimate Morocco. Achraf Hakimi was enjoying a generational run of form.
I still was underestimating their ass. I don't give a damn. I ain't care what nobody said. I know what I see with my eyes.
While attacking stars like Hakim Ziyech and Sofiane Buffon ensured that they had quality at the other end. But despite that, the star-studded French team looked impossible to beat, with world-class players all over the pitch.
Who would have known?
French team looked impossible.
Look at this. Who would have known that men's like Dembele right here in 2022 would have went on to arguably and potentially right now, if this nigga wins Ballon d'Or again, like he gonna be in elite company, like back-to-back Ballon d'Ors. Who would have known that man's like Ousmane Dembele will have a more successful career than Kylian Mbappe?
To beat, with world-class players all over the pitch and talents as impressive as Eduardo Camavinga and William Saliba unable to break into the starting lineup. It was among the most complete international squads of modern history, and they destroyed Morocco's World Cup dream within minutes of kickoff. After a scramble inside the box after 4 minutes, Theo Hernandez opened the scoring for France. The goal was crucial. Morocco had been able to sit in a low block during their clean sheets against Portugal and Spain,
yeah, can't sit in the low block when you lose.
France. And with players like Mbappe in the French attack, you don't want to leave space at the back. In the 78th minute, the forward beat 3 defenders before the ball ricocheted to Kolo Muani, who tapped the ball into the net. The game finished 2-0 to France as Didier Deschamps reached a 2nd consecutive final.
Oh, yeah. final. The greatest game of all time.
The final was set to be an iconic battle between two of the game's greatest players, Mbappe and Messi. At the time, the duo shared a dressing room at PSG at club level, but were dominating the international game with their respective nations. Going into the final, Mbappe had already scored 5 goals at the 2022 World Cup, making him the tournament's joint top goal scorer. And with a total of 9 goals and 1 trophy to his name across his first 2 World Cup campaigns, the Frenchman was already within a chance of becoming among the most iconic World Cup players of all time. If he scored in another final and lifted the trophy again, there would only be a handful of players with more impressive World Cup records than Mbappe, despite the Frenchman still being in his early 20s at the time. But to achieve those accolades, he need to get past Messi's Argentina. Like Mbappe, Messi had scored 5 goals at the tournament and was enjoying the most prolific World Cup campaign of his career. If he won the 5 goals at the tournament, to get past Messi's Argentina.
Obviously,
like
Neil,
Mbappe,
I can't.
Messi
You know, there's
scored 5
Neil,
goals
so
at
I
the
ain't
tournament
gonna
and was
get
enjoying the
mad.
most prolific World Cup
This nigga out
campaign
here,
of
he
his
did that on
career. If he
ELT
won the
too, so
World
I ain't
Cup,
gonna get
he'd end the
mad.
decade-long Messi-Ronaldo debate, finally accomplishing a feat that his arch-nemesis was unable to equal. Not only would Messi clear Ronaldo by winning the World Cup, but many believed it would make him the undisputed greatest player of all time, setting up a final for the ages. Inside 20 minutes, Angel Di Maria made a daring run into the box before being brought down, forcing the referee to award a penalty to Argentina.
This wasn't the play, I don't think. Was this was the play?
Forcing the 20 minutes, Angel Di Maria made a daring run into the box.
Like, come on, bro. This ain't no damn pin.
Inside 20 minutes,
come on. He was running and his stride is so long and his stride ended up clipping Dembele's foot. Like,
to the box,
bro,
being brought down, forcing the referee to award a penalty to Argentina. Messi stood over the ball, started his run up slightly, and finessed the ball into the right-hand side, taking a giant step towards winning his first World Cup. 15 minutes later, Alexis McAllister received the ball in a dangerous position and played a sideways ball to Di Maria, who produced a composed finish, putting Argentina 2-0 up and sparking wild celebrations.
That motherfucker is nuts. He gonna rise to the occasion. Bele get yanked. There go Bele getting yanked right there. There go Bele getting yanked.
Come back from 2 goals down to win a World Cup final, and everybody could sense that Argentina and Messi already had one hand on the glistening trophy. France rarely threatened Argentina throughout the remainder of the first half and the early stages of the second, but in the 78th minute, all hell broke loose. Kolo Muani pounced onto a loose ball and charged into the box before being tripped, prompting the referee to award a second penalty of the match.
I don't even remember Kolo Muani doing it.
And Mbappe was not going to waste it. He smashed the ball into the net, closing the deficit to 1 and giving France hope in the final stages of normal time. 2 minutes later, the ball was intelligently headed towards Mbappe. Everyone in the stadium expected the World Cup specialist to take a touch or dribble with the ball, but Mbappe used excellent technique to volley the ball into the net.
I didn't know he scored that. Oh, it's mirrored.
At this point,
I keep forgetting it's mirrored. It's mirrored. I was gonna say I ain't know this nigga did that twice.
Win the game, but a breakthrough couldn't be found inside 90 minutes, and the game went to extra time. After 107 minutes, Messi was in the right place at the right time to convert a shot that rebounded off Hugo Lloris. Argentina had surely won the World Cup, and Messi's career had its crowning moment, but the drama didn't stop there. 8 minutes later, Mbappe took a shot from the edge of the box, which was handled by an Argentina defender, and a third penalty of the final was awarded. Having already scored from the spot
scored 2 pins on his ass. You know how hard that is on national team. Martinez
penalty as if pressure was a mere afterthought. The game ended 3-3, meaning a penalty shootout would decide the final. Mbappe and Messi scored with the first penalties for each team before Kingsley Coman and Aurelien Tchouameni missed their spot kicks for France. Argentina converted each of their penalties and won the shootout.
Messi and France
scored the winning spot.
Messi and France.
It was Argentina's first World Cup since 1986 when Maradona
then they went on to win the Copa America after this too.
It was unimaginable that another footballer could conquer the world in the way that Maradona had, but 36 years later, Messi
Argentina just does not lose no more, bro. I know they lost to Ecuador during qualifiers, but
greatest player to ever play the game.
Matter, like, bro, Argentina just simply after this World Cup, bro, them niggas dead ass do not lose, bro. These niggas do not lose. But hey, everybody clap it up for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. It definitely was one for the ages. The only winter World Cup So it definitely, the only Middle East World Cup, it definitely for sure had to be a special one. Apple talking about some they getting group. Hey, subscribe to Top Bins, get them to 145,000 subscribers. Great ass video. Entire story. I cannot wait for the 2026 World Cup, man. Let's see what new moments, new memes, new stories is finna be birthed, and who will have a World Cup championship trophy added to their repertoire, man. I'm out.